Sciences first lecture on the topic of radioactivity. Accidentally in 1895, Röntgen he discovered X-rays, and Anthony Henry Becquerel he also accidentally discovered that uranium salt gave out some invisible radiations that could affect a photographic plate. That photographic plate, it may be wrapped in a paper, and he also discovered that those radiations were highly penetrating and they're capable of ionizing gases. They even produce fluorescence effects. In 1898, Marie Curie and her husband Pierre Curie found that some thorium salts radiated such invisible radiations. They also discovered new radioactive elements, namely polonium Z equals to 84, radium Z equals to 88, which were most active, that is, million times more active than uranium. Another important discovery in the field of radioactivity is in 1899, Ernest Rutherford showed that radiations from the radioactive material had a complex position and emit two types of rays, which he called as alpha rays and beta rays. In 1909, P.V. Villard discovered third type of radiation. That radiation was much more penetrating, that radiation had much more penetrating power than alpha rays and beta rays, and they were not deflected by external electric and magnetic field. These radiations were named gamma rays. The radiations alpha, beta, and gamma emitted are also called as Becquerel rays, and the substance which emits these radiations is said to be radioactive substance. Heavy elements whose atomic mass number is greater than 206 are radioactive in nature. Example: uranium, polonium, radium, thorium, etc. Radium was found to be 1,000 times more radioactive than uranium. In nuclear physics, discovery of radium was of great importance as it is used to fight tumors. The phenomenon of spontaneous emission of radiations from radioactive substance, that is what is known as radioactivity. Now this process of radioactivity, it is irreversible, self-disintegrating and spontaneous nuclear phenomenon. Spontaneous in the sense it will happen on its own. Okay. So let's talk about radioactive disintegration. Rutherford experimentally studied the ionizing power of various invisible rays emitted by a radioactive sample, and the sample which he took was uranium. Now, certain observations which were noted by him: a beam of radioactive rays from a radioactive sample splits into three components in the presence of strong electric and magnetic field. One type of radioactive rays were found to be positively charged and were named alpha particles. The other type of radioactive rays, they were negatively charged and were called as beta particles. And penetrating power of beta particles was found to be almost 100 times more than that of the alpha particles. Radioactive rays, they are found to ionize the air, surrounding air, and they also affect photographic plates. So this was the arrangement which was done for the for knowing alpha, beta, and gamma radiations. So this is radioactive source R. This is a lead block. This is lead block. Inside there is a radioactive source R. This one and this one, these are the two plates. One is negatively charged, another is positively charged plate, and this is the photographic plate. Okay, so L in the diagram, it is lead. R, it is the radioactive sample. P, it is the photographic plate. B, it is magnetic field, and here this magnetic field is acting perpendicular into the paper. And P1 and P2, they are plates which provide the electric field. So what were the observation when such type of experimental arrangement was done? In a lead block L, a radioactive sample R is placed. Now the radioactive rays emerging from the sample are subjected to an electric field by means of two parallel plates P1 and P2. A suitable potential can be applied to these plates to set up an electric field. And also a magnetic field is applied such that it is perpendicular to the plane of paper and pointing inside. The experiment clearly showed emission of three types of radioactive rays. So thank you so much.